Thanks to each of you for your testimony. I wonder if each of you could comment briefly on the impact of the Chinese station on commercial interests in low Earth orbit, and specifically, in what ways might a Chinese station compete with commercial platforms?
Again, that's difficult to predict exactly how that comes about or what happens, but we're also, today as a national space station program, we have international agreements with all the countries I described earlier. And what works well there is we do a barter agreement where there's no exchange of funds between us and the other countries. So, for example, if the Europeans want to build a module, they do that investment in Europe, and then that module flies to the space station and is attached and is used for all of us. And it's the benefit of all the partners. So that's the basic model that the space station, the U.S. space station operates under. I could imagine the Chinese space station doing the same thing. I can see other countries interacting with China, and if we don't have a U.S. space station, then that would be the only space station available essentially to go to for these agreements, and that could pull away from America's leadership in space and technology towards China. So I think it's important that we keep our focus. We use the private sector, as we've been doing before, to leverage the private sector as much as we can. That gives us a unique competitive advantage over other countries. But I think there is a threat from the Chinese and their potential relationship with other governments and other countries that our international leadership role could be diminished unless we have a very strong human presence in space at that time.
I don't have anything to add to that.
I would just add that I think it'll push us harder as a nation, as an industry, as a collective voice to work harder to achieve what we're looking to achieve in space. From a commercial perspective, I think there's a laundry list of ambitions that we want to do in space. So it would be a challenge in a competitive nature, I think.
And I can't speak to the commercial impacts, but I can tell you that leadership in science is an important thing for our science community. The role that the United States plays with regard to its current leadership, its current ability to point science in the right direction is a very, very important treasure that we would like to maintain.
Okay, thank you. I yield back.